What's going on, guys? Thanks to everyone that's going to be showing up momentarily just for this, what I'm thinking is going to be a quick comic action figure kind of talk. This collection assortment is going to be from stuff that I've acquired towards like the end of November till recently, I want to say till like yesterday. So there's going to be a couple of things here and there. You might have already seen some of these items within my photography over the last couple of weeks and what have you, but I still want to go over it. There's still stuff that I want to discuss regarding the figures, maybe even the books themselves, and other things that you guys have not seen me post, so we're going to go through that. Let's see here. Okay, so I think we're going to go through the figures first. I think that'll just be a little bit faster. I say that, but watch it take long. Okay, so first guy, had this guy since like the end of November. This guy came from The Amazing. We have the Mafex Cyclops. So the last time I did one of these live sessions back in November, I mentioned that I wanted to go ahead and start reading X-Men just in general, just like start going down that path, reading X-Men, watching the animated series, and just collecting the figures. And I've had a couple of Marvel Legends throughout the years, but I stopped collecting them just because, well, I didn't know anything about the characters per se, and I don't really want to collect something that I'm not familiar with, or at least that's how I try to view things now. So I stopped collecting the Legends themselves. So I decided to dive into Mafex just because I know the Spider-Man figures are fantastic. So I got this guy first. I have Wolverine on pre-order, blue suit, tiger striped. I missed the brown suit, and some of the other figures as well on pre-order. I also dove into the animated series, so I think I'm like on season 3 going on to season 4 right now. I'm almost done with season 3, I want to say, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. It's very lighthearted, which is what I want out of this, especially considering it's such an old show, more directed towards kids, but it's still really fun. Same thing with like the Spider-Man animated series. I just recently watched that, enjoyed it, really like it, and it's been an inspiration for the photography and what have you. So the animated series itself has given me some insight to at least the characters, some basic things. And this dude, let's crack him open real quick. I haven't taken photos of him as of yet, so let's see here. Put this down over here. I did take him out to mess with him a couple times, but I haven't done photos as mentioned. But he's really nice. I haven't had a chance to replace the visor like with the other head sculpt or even the beam effects. Not too much messing around with him, but I really do like it, especially this head sculpt. Just looks really nice. The glare. And to be expected, his articulation is a little hindered from the chest piece right here, but still a really nice figure overall. So I am looking forward to the rest of them. As mentioned, I have Tiger Stripe Wolverine on pre-order, X-Force Wolverine and Deadpool, and Jean also on pre-order. So looking forward to those guys. I don't really have much else to say about this figure as mentioned, since I just got into the line as a whole for X-Men, but hopefully that'll, continue to impress me so I can collect them more. Next guy. I think I've only done one picture of him so far, but we have the NECA Goliath. I'm not going to take him out of the box. He's got a lot going on in here, but really awesome figure. I love that he comes with this open book as well, the jalapeno, bendy tail, love it. I have watched the first season for Gargoyles, still trying to finish it as well, but I do enjoy it. I remember watching it as a kid a lot and having a lot of action figures for that line, like a lot. When I was about 2 years old, actually, for Christmas, I had gotten a whole bunch of gargoyle action figures, and this is one of probably the earliest memories that I have. And I was running back and forth in my grandma's house with the figures, you know, pretending like they're actually flying and what have you. And she had a set of couches, wooden box frame couches, and I tripped, fell, hit the corner of one of those box frame couches, and probably can't see it on camera, but like I have a scar that goes like down this way into my eyebrow. It's like cut me right here. And I just remember being taken to the hospital like Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. There's like blood all over my face, and the nurse was just like, "You have to stay still." She's like holding me down. I'm just like freaking out. Like I said, I'm 2 years old. She's like holding me down. She puts like a weighted vest on me so that I'm not moving, so they can go ahead and stitch me up. And it was blue. So she's like, "Just pretend you're the blue Power Ranger," but it's not helping me at all. I'm just freaking out as it is. I'm like, "No!" Just like screaming. And yeah, so Gargoyles has a, you know, it's got a side to it as well for me. So I'm looking forward to finishing the, I think, what, 2 more seasons? I think there's a total of 3 seasons. So I'll get to that as well. Okay. Next, I got a sticky note. I wrote things down. I'm prepared. Let's see. There's a bunch of Dragon Ball figures. A lot of Dragon Ball figures have come my way. So, let's see. Let's start with this guy. Cooler. I have not been so excited for a figure in a while. Like, this guy is insane. Those of you that have him already know, like, this dude, this beefy boy, is sick. His tail alone is fantastic. And I haven't done that many pictures of him as of yet. I think I've done like maybe 2 or 3. I still have a little list of at least 20 photos that I want to do. Him, chief among them on that list, versus Goku, of course. So I will get to him eventually. But this is definitely one of the figures that I was looking forward to this past year, 2021. Like, when he went up on pre-order, I was like, forget it. There's no way that I'm going to miss this guy. So, glad he came my way. I also picked up the new Super Saiyan Full Power Goku. I initially wasn't, just because it was another Goku figure, but I found him at Target, you know, base price, and I had like a 25% off coupon, so I figured, why not? I'll just use his body for something, you know, for something else. I'll plop off one of the other heads onto him, just because as much as I like the hair sculpt on the figure, I don't really like the faces all that much. So I figured I'd just use the body and pop off one of the other Goku heads onto him instead, like the original release Goku, I think is what I currently have on this new body. So, in my opinion, I prefer it. So, I'm not going to showcase them, whatever, but I did pick them up. I also ended up acquiring the Perfect Cell Figuart from Plastic. Thank you so much, dude. Really love this guy as well. Yet again, haven't done many photos of him, but I do have some more planned. I actually have one that's in my stock right now that I'll be posting shortly. So keep an eye out for it. But also another figure that I had passed on many years ago until, well, he went up in price and, you know, couldn't acquire him. But thank you so much, Plastic, for sending him my way. Love him. Gonna be doing some more photos. And also down here, more Dragon Ball. Much more Dragon Ball. So we have the Dragon Ball Super Future Trunks from my buddy Ricky, as well as the Maniacal Fit Goku Black. Just surprisingly awesome. I really like this guy a lot. I'm glad that I got the 2 of them just because I'm able to do some photos, which I also have some pics of them just in my backlog. I'm at least like 2 weeks ahead on my pictures, which I'm very excited about. I feel like since the October challenge, I've been a little bit more consistent with, the photography. So I'm really happy with that. Just like dishing out pics and what have you, and just getting back into the hobby more than I have ever before. So yeah, got these guys. Not much to talk about regarding them, if I'm being honest. I really like them. I'm glad I have them, but not much to discuss. And let's see. Okay. So, Kamen Rider. I'm going to go ahead and start with the obvious one here, which is going to be Emperor Kiva, just because at this point, y'all have seen him in my photos. Like, I have taken so many pictures of this guy. It's ridiculous. And I thought I loved Dark Kiva, and I do. I love Dark Kiva. But this guy, he just so shiny looking. So, here we go. Really awesome, wired, red cape, articulated, just beautiful. Like I'm really impressed with him. Like I said, Dark Kiva is also a fantastic figure. I just haven't taken as many photos as I have with this dude. But I'm glad I have him. I need to do another photo with just base Kiva, Dark Kiva, and Emperor Kiva to showcase, like, well, spoiler to whoever hasn't watched it, the final episode, which unfortunately doesn't proceed with a movie. I thought it would have, but it has a sequence of all three versions of Kiva in it for like 2 seconds at the very end. But really awesome figure. Got him off Big Bad Toy Store, so a little bit more of a premium price for him, but well, better than aftermarket. Okay. The next rider I just received on, it was like last week actually, maybe like last week. I haven't taken any pictures yet. We have Shadow Moon. And I love the way this guy looks. I'm still in the process of actually watching Kamen Rider Black. I got to the episode finally where they showcase this guy. So like episode 36, more than halfway, and he hadn't made an appearance. I was like, when is he gonna show up? But this guy's dope. Just super clean look. And I love how the green compound eyes just pop on him. Like against just like the silver and the black. Mind you, I am very frightened of breaking this figure. He has some very pointy parts on his elbows, the back of his legs, and also just like, well, the V-fin, so to speak, on his head. I'm just terrified that I'm going to break one of these. But super cool figure. Just like the Kamen Rider Black that came out right here. He has like segments with rubber, like within the actual body itself, which is just neat. It looks really, really nice. Moves well. So, y'all be seeing some pictures for him soon. Alright, put this board back. Now, let's see here. Another figure that I got from my buddy Ricky is I think it's the Marvel Select Venom. Got him right here. Let me see. I think it's the Marvel Select one. Let's go right here. Articulation-wise, he's not that great, but I mean, he looks really cool. And I saw this photo, I think, on my Explore tab that someone had like his head on Super Beefy Boy right here, Marvel Legends Venom, and it's not gonna fit whatsoever, but I mean, with some sticky tack, it'll stay on just fine. It just looks really cool, actually. So, like a mock-up image. I don't know. I think it looks neat. when I saw the photo, I was like, okay, I can do this myself as well. Just pop it on there and recreate it. So, glad I got him. Alright. There's that. And next, we have the Super 7 Donatello. So, I believe I've also talked about Ninja Turtles extensively on one of my other videos. I didn't grow up with the 80s Turtles show, but with the 03 one, and I have been reading the IDW comics. So this guy has a color palette that, at least for me, resembles the 03 Turtles, with his dark brown right here, and the alt head he comes with looks more in line just like with that type of style and the IDW stuff. So I really, really like him. And I'm actually really happy to have him with the other Turtles finally, because I have one other set of Turtles, and they're the Figuarts that came out a couple years ago, which also are based off the 80s look. Haven't watched the 80s show, only the 03 one. So to have at least these guys resemble the 03 ones in some aspects, such as the colorations, I enjoy. I really enjoy it. So there's that. Highly recommend getting the Super 7 stuff. I would like to also check out Thundercats, and the only reason I bring it up is because I know they have Super 7 figures as well, so, or Super 7 has figures for Thundercats. So maybe eventually I'll start watching and then just get addicted to Thundercats as well. Alright. We have the Power Rangers Lightning Collection. Managed to come across Kyoto Green, or Dino Charge Green. Trevor Floats Your Boat. Got him. Haven't even opened him. Will open him eventually. Will do some paint touch-ups on him just like the other Dino Charge guys that have already come out. Still looking for the other figures from the wave. And by that I mean Zeo Yellow and In Space Pink. So, yeah, got him. I already have the Figuarts, but I figured, get him as well since I already have the other boys from the line. Or at least the ones that are out so far. There's that guy. And I think the last figure from this big haul, we've already seen at least one picture, but here it is. SH Monsterarts Zinogre. Now, if you have the Rathalos or even the Nargacuga that have come out, you may have experienced some of the things that I experienced. Although those were great figures, like articulation-wise, joint-wise, there were some problems. At least to go over what mine had, Nargacuga had issues like with his legs staying in place. They were constantly popping off legs, and the paws would just come right off in the middle of posing, or even just from just touching him. They just pop right off. I think the wings were also a little bit loose. The kicker was the Rathalos, and I would say it's just because he's such a big figure, the wings themselves had issues with the segments of the wings, picture the webbing per se in between them. They're supposed to click into each other like little ball pegs. I think one of them had a ball peg broken into the socket that I was just not able to remove whatsoever, so it couldn't connect properly, which caused it to just kind of flop. His claws also, he had one of the talons that comes back from this area of it, was misshapen. It was warped, so it wouldn't, as soon as it came out, it just wouldn't go back in because it was just misshapen. I actually think I resorted to just gluing it into place just because I didn't see that I was going to be touching it around and moving that particular spot, so I decided to just plug it in. And the overall weight of the wings. So the fact that he already was having problems with the connections and the connections being broken means that his wings are going to flop down. And that's just, it really hinders him, considering he's a dragon. Technically, he's a dragon. He's supposed to fly, right? He's supposed to be spread wings, you know, going about. So anyway, when it comes to this guy, the point I'm trying to make, I have not had any problems. So let's pop him out of here. He's not like the other two where he has wings. So because of that, I think he is secretly blessed. So here we go. Really nice detailed doggo, electric doggo. And the highlight of this figure is this tail. Like, this tail is just phenomenal. Look at this thing. All these little segments that just allow it to move up, down, side to side, and just showcase this figure the way it's meant to be shown. Fantastic. Super fantastic. I haven't had any problems with the talons on him either, because you can pop off the sides right here on him and replace them with the extra claws, so when he's like in his attack mode. Haven't done that yet. That's probably why I'm kind of scared to do so. I would say the only real, it's not an issue, but I kind of wish his mouth would open up just a little bit more. And as I say, it looks like he's actually opening it up more than what I originally noticed. But just a minor gripe. I just found myself not being able to open his mouth as much. And I don't think he has an articulated tongue like the Rathalos, as far as I noticed. I don't want to mess too much on camera and just like break him, but I don't think he has an articulated tongue, unless mine's just like stuck. But awesome figure. I am looking forward to more of these guys, but surprisingly, there's no new, as far as I'm aware, there's no new news when it comes to the Monsterarts for Monster Hunter. I'm also very surprised that they haven't just dished out like repaints for like Comic-Con or anything for the 3 that are already out. I'm very surprised. Very surprised. But if you're a fan of the video games or just of the Monsterarts line, these won't disappoint. Really, really awesome. So, set the boy aside. Okay. So, that's going to conclude the figures. Now, book-wise, I don't think I really acquired that much product in comparison to the figures. But there were a couple of things that I wanted to just review. So, we have the next 4 books that I've been reading in this series for Richard Stark, for Parker novels. So I'm currently on book 8, The Handle. I also picked up the Rare Coin score, the Green Eagle score, and the Black Ice score. So these books really just hit, they just hit different. They hit different. They're definitely in line with the criminal comic books, that type of stuff. I believe that even Ed Brubaker may have mentioned that, you know, Richard Stark is an inspiration to some degree for the works that he's done. I think there was like an interview in one of the comic adaptations for the Richard Stark ones, the Martini editions. As far as I read, I do not own a comic book version of what is out for the Richard Stark stuff, but I do plan on it. I just remember reading it. It does have like some kind of interview segment that had that in itself, so I just kept that in mind. But Really good books. I think there's a total of 24 of these novels, and they read pretty easy. Like, they really hook you, especially with some of the chapters just being like maybe 2 to 3 pages. Like, you read the chapter, and you're like, okay, maybe I'll just read one more chapter. And you read another one, and you read another one, and then another one. By the time you notice, like, you finish the book in less than a week, and, well, they don't disappoint. They're really fun. So, got those right there. Next off, we have nothing new. We have Full Metal Alchemist Volume 15 for the Full Metal editions. I have not read the manga for Full Metal. I have watched both the original anime and Brotherhood, which is what the manga is Brotherhood. But I am waiting for all of the volumes for the Full Metal editions to be released, and then I plan on reading them all just in one go. So, that's it regarding that. We also have the newest volume, physical copy, here in the US for Dragon Ball Super, Volume 15. Read that last week. I had read about half of it online several months ago. So the rest of this specific volume where they introduced Granola was all new to me, although I have seen some spoilers, but I don't really care, on the gram. I went ahead and finished that one up and got addicted and read the other like 15 or so chapters online and really like it. Really, really like it. Let's see. Manga. These guys were books that I had the intent to buy and just forgot about. So when I saw them at Zia Records, I was like, oh, perfect. They have the first 2 volumes. So we have Gundam The Origin, the manga. I found the first 2 volumes for half off at Zia Records, and really nice overall. Hardcover, they have a few color pages in here. Paper quality is not that of like a regular manga volume, so it's definitely thicker, glossier, nice, larger print. Larger print. So I want to say there's 12 of these. Got the first 2, so I'm gonna get the rest of them. I've already seen the movie compilation versions of the original Gundam series, but they're hardcover. They're manga. Couldn't pass on them. So there's that. We also have Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Beyond the Grid. Have this guy on order, as well as the following volume, Necessary Evil Part 1. I contemplated not getting these for the sole reason of getting a full collection of the hardbacks with like the box set, and then have the covers of each of those specific hardbacks be the 6 Rangers themselves instead of these, where it starts off as Mighty Morphin Green and then Red, and then just shifts to Lord Draken, Ranger Slayer, and then White. So I contemplated that, and I realized I missed my chance for the pre-order from Cheap Graphic Novels. So I was like, all right, that's fine. And at the same time, I mean, I already had the first 2 volumes, and this one is currently like maybe $30 on Amazon still. And this one just came out and is already on sale for about $50. So I said, okay, it's no big deal. I'll just get them. And although the 3rd volume is out of print, I did notice that one of the websites, when I Google searched it to see what I could find, Books A Million apparently had it for pre-order. And I don't know if it was like a second printing, but I haven't seen it showcased anywhere. So I was like, all right, there, perfect. Got it for base price, Books A Million pre-order, coming out soon. Last week I got an email after having that book on pre-order for like 4 months saying, oh, it's not available. Pre-order canceled. So, needless to say, I now don't have the 3rd book technically still. So I'm kind of on the hunt for it. So if any of you guys have book 3 for sale, know somebody that does, have it for a reasonable price. I'm looking for it as of this particular moment. I don't have it and I want it. But yeah, got those. I haven't actually finished the story. I'm pretty sure I got somewhere in the middle of Beyond the Grid, and I just got bored, if I'm being honest. But I do want to pick up on reading it from the very beginning, see if it changes my mind, and I'm sure I'll get inspired and do some photos as well. One of the things that I did notice when I got this book in the mail, though, and I just happened to notice when I was flipping through the pages, that it was damaged. The book itself, this page right here, just got this big old tear right out of it. And I contemplated returning it, but also did not want to risk Target, since I got it off Target, not having it in stock anymore because it said low stock. So if I returned it, I risked just not having the book, period, for the good price that I got it. So I decided, you know what, screw it. Even though technically it is damaged on that one single page, I'm going to keep it. Just because I want the physical copy and I do not want to pay more than I have to. So there's that. Right, so let's see here. We also have books 8 and 9 for Berserk Deluxe hardcovers. I still need to get book 7, but managed to acquire books 8 and 9 with some trade credit at some local stores. Also, I want to say one of them was from Barnes & Noble, actually. They were having a sale. Thanks for joining. Barnes & Noble was having a sale on hardbacks recently with any hardback was half off. But that sale hit hard. Their website was not showing things accordingly at that point. Things were selling out way too fast. But was able to get one of these, as well as I think it was the Full Metal Alchemist book, volume 15. Alex was able to pick them up for me during that sale, so got those. But I am looking forward to reading more Berserk. I did read the first 6 deluxe hardcovers. I started reading it last year around January. It piqued my interest finally. I don't know what took me so long to decide on reading it, but picked up the first book. Mind was blown, and the rest is history. I just got everything that came up until this point, and now I'm just trying to catch up once more. So there's that. Let's see. We have Akira Toriyama's Manga Theater. Now, if I recall correctly, this is supposed to contain 3 volumes worth of the Manga Theater, or at least that's how they were originally released in Japan, and now they're just collected in one nice hardback here in the US. Okay, so yeah. So you have the first one right here. Second one's cover on the inside. And it looks like, yep, volume 3. So this is just an assortment of his works throughout the years. From looks of early works and a history of his life as a manga writer and illustrator. So I am really looking forward to reading this. Also oversized in comparison to regular manga. Yep, just slightly. Paper quality is better than your typical manga volume, but not on that glossy type of paper that you would find the Full Metal hardbacks to be in, but still nice regardless. So this has a cover price of $34.99. Once I actually do read it and do another one of these videos and what have you, I'll probably go into more depth for it. But still an awesome piece, and I'm glad I have it. Okay. Next, this is the one and only Omni that I've acquired during this entire haul, surprisingly. we have Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 1. Finally. I had, up until just yesterday, all of the paperback versions of this. But as soon as this got announced, I was like, okay, I'm going to pre-order the Omnis. Since at this point, well, that's primarily what I'm collecting. And I am so happy this is out. I haven't read it in almost 7 years. I believe it was like 7 years ago is when I first jumped into this series. I found a couple of paperbacks between Zia Records and Bookman's, and by the time I knew it, I found all of the paperbacks and just blasted through them. So I'm going to have a lot of fun rereading this. Considering it's been such a long time, I'm going to take off the dust jacket right here. Alright, so this is issues 1 through 39 and the half issue. Here's the front without the dust jacket, just the cover of issue 1. Back side, the Venom cover, which you can also get it with the dust jacket to have this on the front. I opted for, well, just a regular one, just because, I don't know. Issue 1, Omni number 1, just me. Here's the spine. Book 2, I believe just recently went up for pre-order, so gonna snag that shortly. But yeah, it's gonna be a nice read. New photo opportunities from it. Doesn't have a table of contents now that I see it. It's kind of, I don't know. I would have liked it if it had a table of contents, but at the same time, I don't think it would have mattered considering it doesn't have page numbers. So it'd be kind of difficult to see exactly where you are with that table of contents as it is. But highly recommend it if you're wanting to read some Spider-Man, something different. Awesome book. And from the looks of it, there might be a total of 4 of these of the amount of issues that there were. So I think they're going to have 4 Omnis total for this, and they're reprinting the Miles Morales ones that are a follow-up to this once more, I think under different titles technically, as a Volume 1, Volume 2 instead of 2 separate versions, which still follow each other anyway. So you don't have them, get your hands on them. I don't have them, did not get my hands on them, will now get my hands on them. So there we go. All right. And lastly, also picked up this book yesterday, finished it this morning. I have not blown through a book so fast in a while. I picked it up yesterday, read the first issue, within like maybe 2 pages of issue number 1 alone. I was like, oh snap, this is good. By the time I finished the first issue, I was like, oh snap, this is really good. And finished it this morning. So we have Something is Killing the Children. This was really good. Without going into too much detail, unfortunately, what I can say is, well, it was a town in Wisconsin. Lots of kids are going missing. Their bodies were found. Stuff happens. But I believe as of this moment, there's a total of 20 issues. This collects the first 15 of those. This is listed as a Volume 1, Book 1, so there's going to be more eventually once they dish out some more issues and come out with the paperbacks and what have you, and you'll see another hardback number 2. But solid book. Definitely recommend it. Art is has a very like anime kind of look to it, so I recommend. But yeah. Yo, what's up, Ricky? You missed it all, bro. You missed it all. I'm literally talking about the last thing right here, so you're gonna have to rewatch this, man. But this is the last thing on my list. But yeah, so there's a recap. Other than that, without going into spoilers as well, we just got home from watching the new Scream movie. I enjoyed it, you know. The movie did what it was supposed to do. which was harken back to the original, cheesy, and it hit the notes. You know, you wanted to see the original cast, you see the original cast. So I think it hit those notes very well. Maybe you'll disagree with me, but it was still enjoyable. And I know I'm going to be taking some pictures of Ghostface later or tomorrow, but I will be doing that. But in any case, I think that will do. Thank you all for joining, and I'll see you next time. See ya.